Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is the Mirabella bag, the non-collapsible version. And this bag is so versatile, and you see all these zippers you're seeing here, they are all just for fashion. Like, you literally can't open them. It's been like, it's tucked. You literally can't open it, and everything is secured in the bag. So this is the inside of the bag. So we have another version that is collapsible, which means you can open these zips, and then everything, like, you'll be looking at everything plainly flat, right? Call that one collapsible version. But this one is not, and it is equally as functional as that one. So grab any one you want. It is all in one pattern. Both the collapsible and the non-collapsible, they are in one pattern, so you can grab the pattern. It's for sale, linked in the description below. When you buy the Mirabella pattern itself, you find the two versions in it, both the non-collapsible and the collapsible version. So grab it and let's make our bag.
Center the main interfacing on the wrong side of the main panel, and then we're going to shape it out, then fuse at that center. And again, we're going to fold the top and the side of the main panel snugly over the interfacing using glue or DST, depending on your choice. And then the interfacing is going to be in this seam allowance, so we're going to cut the edges that poke up. Then we're going to repeat this for the base panel, but on all sides, not just top and bottom, top and sides. And then we'll repeat the same thing for the second main panel. We'll also repeat the same thing for the two side panels. So the two side panels, we're leaving the bottom of that, and then the two main panels, we're also leaving the bottom. So that is step one. Step two, the handle panels. We're going to draw a 3/8 inch line on the short edges, and then a line down the center of the long edge. Then we're going to center the handle interfacing on the handle panel 1.25 inch from one short edge, as I am doing right now. Then we're going to fold the two sides of the handle panel from the long edge now to the center, to that center line. Now we're going to slide in our D-ring or square ring, whatever you're using. Then we'll hold the two short edges right sides together and then sew with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Now we're going to give it a slant trim, and then we'll fold open that seam so that everything is flat, and then fold the rest of it towards the center, as I'm doing right now. So turn it to the right side, and then make sure that the D-rings or square rings are on two short edges. So they should be on the two short edges, and then we'll clip in place. What you want to make sure is that the interfacing you have used is centered. So once it is centered, you clip it in place like this, and then sew around the whole thing with a 1/8 inch seam allowance on the long edges, and then as close to your D-ring or square ring as your machine can allow. Now we're going to do the connectors. We're going to draw a line down the center, then fold towards that line using glue or double-sided tape. We're going to do this for the 4 connectors, using 2 for the handle and then 2 for the side panel for long strap. So to now install the handle panel, now we're going to follow the mark on pattern piece C, and then we're going to make a slit on that mark and slide in our 2 connectors wrong side up, as I am doing right now. So we're going to sew that to the flap panel like so. So slide in our handle panel and then take in the other short edge of the connector like this. We'll do the same thing for the for the 2 D-rings. Now take your rivet press and then use it to install a rivet to hold the connector in place. Now make sure the 2 are held securely. And then we're going to move to the flap panel proper now. That is the 3rd step. Now draw a 3/4 inch line down the center of the straight edge and then fold the edges to meet that line using double-sided tape or glue. Do this for the 2 flap panels. On one of the flap panels, draw a line 3/8 inch on the cuffed and side edges, as I'm doing right now. And now match the 2 flap panel right sides together and then clip them in place. Now we're going to sew around the flap panels on the sides and top edges with 3/8 inch seam allowance on the line we drew, using the line we drew earlier as guide. Now we're going to use our scissors to notch it down or to trim it down so that it can allow for easy turning. Also, it can lay flat after it has been turned to the right side. So we're going to turn it to the right side now. Just use something pointed but not sharp to push it out and then clip all the edges. Now, not all the edges, we are leaving the straight long edge. And then we're going to sew around the sides and top edges with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. Now take the flap panel and then transfer the dotted line on pattern piece F to it. Now we're going to fold it on these lines, okay, like so, and then insert it into the flap panel. Now you want to make sure you set everything in place like so. So it should look like this by the time you're done. And now we're going to set this on one of the main panels, and it's going to be 1.75 inch from the top, and then we'll sew with a 1/8 inch and a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now to step 4, we'll install the bag lock, both the female and the male end of the bag lock, using the marks on pattern piece B and pattern piece C. So step 6, separate one of the zipper tapes on one of the main panels. Use double-sided tape to adhere the right side of the zipper tape to the wrong side of each side edge of the main panel, as I am doing right now. Now sew the two side edges with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. So you're going to repeat this for the second main panel and the two side panel, like so. So now we're going to start using a zipper pull to join two zipper tapes together, or two halves of zipper tape. Now make sure that the top edges are aligning. So you're going to match one side panel to a main panel on each of their sides, and then we'll do the same thing for the second main panel. And then just to keep the zipper pulls, the zipper tape now from separating, we're going to use a hand needle and thread to tack it in place like so. So once you tack, just tie it off and then cut the threads. So we'll repeat this for the 4 zipper tapes. Now we're going to install the purse fit. We'll draw 2 inches line from one short edge and then 1 inch line from the long edges. So 2-inch line from the 2 short edges, and then like that. So we're going to cut the points that intersect and then install our purse fit there. Now open the zips. And then flip the base panel to the wrong side and lay the bottom edge of the main panel on the long edge of the base, and then the bottom edge of the side panel on the short edge of the base panel. So you can either use double-sided tape to hold this or glue.
And then I'm also going to lift up or push up the zip and give it a temporary tacking. This one I'm going to remove it later. This is just so the sewing can be easier. Then I'm going to sew around the base panel with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. Now after sewing, you're going to remove that temporary tacking that allows you to sew it easily. So you remove it on the 4 zips, and then you have it. So this is the time to do your zipper and slip pockets, and video for these are linked in the description below. So the lining panel, now we're going to draw a 3/4 inch line on the top edge of the lining panels on the wrong side, and then we'll align them right sides together and use clip to hold their sides and bottom together. And then sew the sides and then the bottom with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now we're going to match the corresponding sides and bottom seam and then clip them in place and sew them also with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now we're going to fold the top edges to meet the line we drew at the beginning of this step, just to make sure that the top edge is not does not have a raw edge anymore. So now the lining is wrong side out and then the exterior is definitely right side out. So we're going to put the lining to the exterior and start matching the top edges together. Now you want to know the center, like mark the center of the main panels, mark the center of the lining panel so that the matching, like everything looks good and the placement will be correct. So once you're done matching, take it to your sewing machine and then sew the entire top edge with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. So this is it, and at this point you have the option to make the zip unzippable. So this is what I mean. I'm going to tack this, I'm going to tap right under the zipper after zipping it up, right? I will tack it with and knit and stitching. So right now I'm using like an invisible thread, so you will not even see the thread at all, right?
but you can use, if you don't have that, you can use a thread that is the same color as your zip, and that is it. You won't be able to open the zipper at all again. It's not functional. So this is the bag, and this is the time to do your long strap. Video for the long strap is linked also in the description below. Okay guys, download the pattern from the link in the description below. Also, if you're looking for the other version, the collapsible version, the link are also below. Also the link for your zipper and then your slip pockets and your long strap, all are in the description. So thank you for watching, and bye.